What's the biggest scam in life that no one wants to admit? We work the majority of our lives, during our fittest years of health, for the promise of a golden retirement, when we were probably too old and ill to enjoy it properly. First you have strength and time, but no money. Then you have strength and money, but no time. Finally you have money and time, but no strength. The easy to join, difficult to cancel subscription model. Pioneered by gyms. I canceled mine as soon as lockdown started and I put together a home gym. Literally had to print out something from their website and mail it and then call them 3 times. That whole business model is based on people signing up, not going, and putting off canceling due to a combination of not wanting to admit failure, and the whole process being a pain in the ass. If everyone with a gym membership went just twice a week, they'd have a real problem on their hands. The Wall Street Journal makes you telephone them to cancel your online subscription. They have the technology to accept subscriptions online, but not to cancel them online. Online convenience fees. My bank has free bill pay and will mail them a check if they don't have any other option. So now they get a check from me and the inconvenience fee is their own cost to process the thing, get paid slower, etc. The entire wedding industry. To be clear, not marriage but weddings specifically. I'm happily married to my wife, and we were content to do something special, just the two of us, maybe spend a couple of grand and treat ourselves a little bit to something amazing. Cue the families getting involved, and before you know it we're spending closer to 20 grand on one day and feeding a bunch of people I've not heard of before or since the wedding. 100% agree. There were 3 people at my wedding, which was held in a small bar before it opened. We were interested in having a marriage, not a wedding. Spent our money on a vacation. Still going strong 16 years later. Mom, tell me the truth and I won't be mad. My parents used to say, if you tell me the truth, I will be less mad than when I find out you lied. 1. You aren't lying. 2. You can still be mad. 3. You are insinuating that you will find out anyway, so they are more likely to tell you. It's a psychological trick that's been found to work. The words you choose to use can have a huge impact on a guilty conscience. It's used in police investigations a lot. Their brain is no longer thinking, can I get away with it? It starts thinking, what happens when I get caught? The subscription-based economy. This makes me so angry. Why does everything have to be a subscription now? I mean, I know why, but I still hate it. Soon enough piracy will come back to the norm. With Netflix they had me from downloading to paying a reasonable price to watch what I want. Then more and more companies jumped on back to where I'm not gonna fork over $100 a month for them all. I keep Netflix for being O.G Plus family members, will prob ditch if they crack down, Prime for shipping, and Disney Plus for Star Wars and Marvel. Anything on any other platform gets downloaded. Pay a monthly fee for car features? Custom firmware will end up being better eventually. Office I pay for family. Phones I've moved to buying outright when I lose or break instead of being on a plan. Paying exorbitant amounts of money for health insurance, and still having to pay boatloads of cash for any doctor-hospital visits. Reddit awards. $18 salad LOL. Water is $3 while soda is $1. Click here to unsubscribe to this email notification. Hustle culture. Bought a gold membership and a greeting card MLM so I could send unlimited custom cards. My coach thought I was taking it seriously as a moneymaker, plus he wanted me to recruit more people for his downline. He actually asked, are there any friendships you can leverage? Yeah, that made my skin crawl. I'm sorry, but the grind and hustle cultures only generate a-holes. They think everyone else's goal is to be rich as fuck, working 100 hours a week. I just want to be able to pay my bills and feed my family. Anything after that should be time spent with my family. Diamonds. Fuck diamonds. Moissanite is lab-grown, cost-effective, and is basically indistinguishable from diamonds. In fact, they can look even more brilliant. That large global companies actually care about you. Free trial. Click. Enter your card details. Fuck. That's why I keep a Visa gift card with a few cents left on it. The prices of anything baby-related, toys, food, clothes, etc., was in a store on Saturday to get a cot mattress and cover. I cried. We bought dog poop bags to dispose of diapers on the go because it was so much cheaper than a baby equivalent. Tiny roll of those bags lasts forever in a diaper bag. Put baby in a product name and suddenly it's so much pricier than an equivalent product not marketed the same way. That we're supposed to work for the rest of our lives. This is the correct answer. We work more hours on average today than peasants did under feudalism. Not only this, but in the 1930s one of the fathers of modern economics, John Maynard Keynes, predicted that with projected efficiency gains, by the year 2000 we'd only need to work 15 hours a week to maintain a comfortable and modern standard of living. Not only did we achieve those productivity gains, we actually doubled them. We could be working 7-hour weeks today and taking 6-day weekends, but instead we're working the same hours we were when he made his predictions nearly 100 years ago now. Why? Because the efficiency dividend didn't go to the workers. The capitalists and the CEOs pocketed a lot of it. Just look at graphs of workers versus CEOs' salaries over time, and the rise of the uber-rich. We're being screwed and cheated, and royally so. Claw machines in arcades. Specifically, they're programmed to pay out after X number of dollars. Claw games with cheap stuff like stuffed animals will pay out relatively frequently. Things like the stacker game or the keyhole game with big ticket things are programmed to pay out at a much lower rate. Buying a star and naming it. A waste of your cash and time. The only organization that can name a star is International Astronomical Union. Besides, you can do it for yourself for free in your backyard. No one's gonna know if you renamed Beetlejuice Marty. That's between you two. Giving parents your money for safekeeping as a kid. When I was a kid, I discovered my grandma has a puzzle box on her dresser. Being a stupid kid, I couldn't figure out how to open it. After a few unsuccessful attempts at just asking her to show me, I got crafty, as only a stupid kid can, and thought I'd trick her into showing me. So I gave her a $2 bill I got somewhere, and asked her to keep it safe for me in her puzzle box. Well, Grandma knew exactly what I was doing, so the attempt failed. I never got to see her open it, and promptly forgot about the whole thing. Fast forward 20 years, Grandma has now died and Mom's going through her safe to figure out what's what and runs across an envelope in with my name on it. Inside is a $2 bill and a short note explaining that it belongs to me, and it was given to her for safekeeping. She did keep it safe for me, right next to the deed to her house and other important financial documents. Even though it was a silly attempt at trickery and not a genuine request. I did end up getting that puzzle box, and as an adult it took about half a second to figure out how to open it. It currently contains a rattlesnake rattle that my grandma got as a little girl. That was her treasure she kept in the puzzle box, a $2 bill, and that note. This is a nice story that makes me smile, one of the reasons I like Reddit. Thank you, stranger. U.S. private health insurance. Cutting out the middleman would save everyone money. It blows my mind we haven't changed anything. We haven't changed anything because the insurance companies flow so much money to Washington that they all turn a blind eye to what a freaking shit show it is. That climate change is up to each individual to go green. It was a campaign by BP that pushed the solution as each individual going green instead of the dozen massive corporations that account for the lion's share of greenhouse gases. Going green is good, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to oil companies, industrial farming, and cargo ships. That the fashion industry is anything other than planned obsolescence, designed simply to get people to spend money for no reason. I've noticed even my recent buys of simple t-shirts will degrade much faster than a decade ago. I still have a shirt from JCPenney I got 16 years ago that hasn't faded, thinned out, or much else. That shirt from 2 years ago though? Insta holes. Jokes on them, I kept my clothes so long that they're starting to be back in fashion again. Got him. Tipping culture. It's how businesses scam the general public into paying additional costs so they could avoid paying their staff a living wage. Yeah, and the general public can't even boycott it. BC if you do, you're the a-hole. That saving the earth is in the hands of consumers and not big companies. Fashion trends, and the incredible amount of waste it creates. If everyone learned how to mend altar garments in school, and value was placed on investing in a few quality-made items instead of a closet full of disposable fast fashion, there would be way less clothing in landfills and way less demand for chemical-laden garments to be cranked out in sweatshops. Our relationship to clothing is so warped. Buying second-hand is a great way to wiggle out of the grip of the fashion industry if it's available to you. Insurance. My great-grandfather was a doctor, and there were stories of him treating people, often for free. He and his wife helped an entire family with scarlet fever in exchange for a jar of blackberry jam. My great-grandfather was a traveling doctor in rural VA. He had to perform an emergency cesarean, and the husband pointed a shotgun at him and said if his wife died, he'd die. Cesarean was successful, and when the man asked how he could pay, my grandfather said, "Your shotgun. We still have it in our family." Religion. A lot of us have been convinced that we are selling our labor to companies at the correct price. In reality, we're selling it too cheaply. That getting older gives wisdom. I'm older and I'm just a cranky old fuck. The rat race. The idea that you are making progress towards a better world, carrying on with the destruction and degradation of our own environment in the name of progress. Bottled water. The cost of education. Needing a college degree for most high-level jobs when there is rarely any relevant knowledge gained from the degree relevant to the job. The fact that airlines have X amount of seats per flight, but almost always sell X plus 10 seats, and then refund you about 80% of your ticket cost. Do that to the 10 people and suddenly you have about 2 tickets worth of profits seemingly out of nowhere, and everyone still has a flight. Just an unbelievably immoral way to gain a few bucks. But everyone just goes with it since the airplanes aren't exactly a train that comes every 10 minutes. Do what you love for a living, and you'll never work a day in your life. Pure bullshit that will kill any enjoyment that you ever had for it. What's the biggest scam in life that no one wants to admit? Leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.